So this topic today is a continuation of the discussion we had in episode 1 or in the first recorded discussion. In the first discussion, we talked about the police organization, the history of the Philippine National Police, the terminologies that we are going to use in the study of police organization and administration. This morning, we will be talking about the Philippine National Organization, its functions, the concepts, and the units inside the PNP organization. There are three classifications of functions in the Philippine National Police. Mainly, number one, line functions. Line functions are the backbone of the police department. They include such operations such as patrol, investigation, traffic control, vice control, and juvenile control, as well as supervision on the personnel performing these operations. Take note that line function is the most important function in the Philippine National Police Organization. That is why it is labeled as the backbone. Okay? That is why it is labeled as the backbone simply because without the line function, the whole Philippine National Police Organization is paralyzed. The line function is very important simply because it consists the bloodline of the police organization. So without patrol, without investigation, without traffic control, vice control, and juvenile control, the Philippine National Police Organization cannot attain its goal. It is very important that the line functions should perform well. Next, aside from the line function, which is the most vital one, we also have the so-called staff function. Staff functions are those operations designed to support the line functions. Staff members are necessarily advisors who are typically assigned to planning, research, legal advice, budgeting, and educational services. Their main function is to study police policies and practices and to offer proposals to the chief executive of the department. The chief executive department that is referred in the staff function refers to the chief of police. So the purpose of having the staff function is for research, right? Research related to the occurrence of crime or the prevention of a crime, same as planning. Planning may involve strategic planning. Legal advice will refer to those related to statutes or our existing laws. Budgeting refers to the money that will be allocated on a particular group or a money that will be allocated to a particular activity. Same as educational services. All of this belongs to the staff function, right? Next, the last one is the auxiliary function. Auxiliary function involve the logistical operations of the department. This include training, communications, jailing, maintenance, record keeping, motor vehicles, and similar operations. So meaning, if a person applies in the Philippine National Police and is accepted to be part in the PNP and he undergoes training, those EI or assistant instructors are considered as part of the auxiliary function. Same as like a communication from the chief of police cascading the information to the lower level of the ranks. That will still form part under the auxiliary function. Ang lock-up jails are jails under the Philippine National Police. So you can actually see the lock-up jail, you can notice it because it is built adjacent to the police station. So kanang perisuan tapat sa police station or na-attached dun sa police station, ang tawag na lock-up jail. And lock-up jails are under the supervision of the Philippine National Police. Same as record management and maintenance, same as similar operations, vehicles, these are all part of the auxiliary functions. Mupalit og pusil, mupalit og motorcycle, mupalit og vehicle that will be used for patrol. Procurement of any materials inside the Philippine National Police Organization is part of the auxiliary faction. Now, in the international policy, there are two theories that are followed. One is home rule theory. The home rule theory, law enforcers or policemen are regarded as servants of the community. While the continental theory, in this concept, policemen are regarded as state or servants of the higher authorities. The theory that we are following right now in the Philippine setup is not the continental theory, but rather the home rule theory, because our police officers are considered as servants of the community. When we say servants of the community, supposedly it has to, in a layman's point of view, it should mean that the police officers are actually the individuals who will assist the needs of the community. Those needs are related to peace and security. Okay? So, the community should be considered as the master, while the police officers shall be considered as the servants. Also, there are two concepts in policing. One concept is the old concept, the other one is the modern concept. The old concept mandates the increasing number of arrests, throwing offenders in detention facilities, rather than trying to prevent them from committing crimes. The modern concept, under this concept, police efficiency is measured by the decreasing number of crimes, an organ of crime prevention. Between the two, the old concept and the modern concept, Philippine National Police follows the modern concept, not the old concept. Okay? Our country is following the modern concept. Police efficiency is measured by the decrease of crimes. If you have lower number of arrests in a particular month compared to the previous month, that means or that signals efficiency on part of the police organization. But if in case when you have 100 crime occurrences in the month of January and then it increases on the month of February, that means there is ineffectiveness on the part of the police organization. Because in the modern concept, again, the efficiency rather is based on the decrease of the number of crimes. Again, between the two, the old concept and the modern concept, we are following the latter, which is the modern concept. Next, the next topic is span of control. In the police organization, we have span of control, delegation of authority, esprit de corps, and other terms. We will study first what is span of control. Span of control is the maximum number of subordinates at a given position that superior can supervise effectively. Okay? Maximum number of subordinates. When we say subordinates, these are individuals who are lower in rank compared to the superior. Okay? Lower in rank compared to the supervisor. Delegation of authority is the conferring of an amount of authority by superior position and to a lower level position. The person to whom authority is delegated becomes responsible to the superior for doing the assigned job. So the delegation of authority entails responsibility. But again, you have to take note, you have to put in mind that even though that authority has been delegated to a lower level position, accountability on the part of the superior remains the same. Okay? I repeat. Even if the authority is delegated to a lower level position, responsibility comes in, but then again, accountability will always stay on the part of the superior. Unity of command. Traditional theories of organization insisted that each employee should have only one supervisor. This principle of unity of command is the backbone of any organizational structure. There will always be one person who is in command within an organization. All officers, all commissioned or non-commissioned officers will have to answer on the call from the chief of police. because the chief of police is the individual who is in command of the organization. A person cannot serve two masters at the same time. There will always be one master, and that master is the person who is in command of that organization. The Philippine National Police Organization. The PNP is composed of a national headquarters, regional headquarters, provincial headquarters, district headquarters, and municipal stations. At the national level, the PNP maintains its national headquarters in Camp Crame, Metropolitan Manila, which houses the directorial staff, services staff, and special support units. The Chief of the Philippine National Police has the rank of Police General. So the Police General has a 4-star rank. The second in command in the Philippine National Police Organization is no other than the Deputy Chief of Philippine National Police for Administration. I repeat, the second in command in the Philippine National Police is no other than the Deputy Chief of Philippine National Police for Administration. The third in command in the PNP is no other than the Deputy Chief of PNP for Operations. And the fourth in command is the Chief of Directorial Staff assisted by a Secretary Directorial Staff. So meaning, if we will arrange it in chronological order, at the top you have the Chief of Police with the rank of Police General. Second in command is the Deputy Chief of PNP for Administration. Lower to the administration is Operations. And lower to Operations is the Chief of Directorial Staff. So those are the three staffs that will assist the Chief of the Philippine National Police. Now, under administrative support units, we have the following: logistic support services, information technology, financial service, health service, and all of the services that you can see on your screen. All of that services are under administrative support units. Okay? On the other hand, the third in command is the Deputy Chief for Operations. Ang support units sa operations are Maritime Group, responsible for patrolling on Philippine territorial waters. Intelligence Group, on the other hand, are those individuals who will conduct intelligence and counterintelligence in the Philippine National Police. In a specific police station, whether it is municipal station or city station, there is always an intelligence group. Okay? Intelligence group inside the station will be the one, like say typically in Dumaguete City or in other stations, intelligence group are those individuals who will look for information on the whereabouts of drug pushers, drug users. They will obtain information relative to criminal syndicates or criminal groups inside the community, and other confidential information which are actually needed in the operations in the Philippine National Police. Next is Police Security and Protection Group. This group, on the other hand, provides security to government vital installations, government officials, visiting dignitaries, and private individuals authorized to be given protection. Do not be surprised why our politicians or our government officials are usually escorted by police officers, because the officers who will escort government officials are actually part of the Police Security and Protection Group. Okay? If a celebrity will visit Negros Oriental, usually the celebrity is accompanied by police officers. These police officers are part of Police Security and Protection Group. Aside from those being mentioned, we also have Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, or the CIDG. The CIDG, on the other hand, monitors, investigates, prosecutes all crimes involving economic sabotage and other crimes of such magnitude and extent as to indicate their commission by highly placed or professional criminal syndicates and organizations. Usually, it is the CIDG, or it is the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, who will investigate or monitor crimes that are being committed by criminal syndicates. Aside from CIDG, we also have the SAF, or the Special Action Force. The Special Action Force is the elite group in the Philippine National Police. Okay? It is an elite group inside the Philippine National Police who is in charge, who serves as a mobile strike force. It serves as a mobile strike force or a reaction unit. On a special note, the PNPR unit, on the other hand, is placed under the supervision of the SAP. The training of the Special Action Force is different from the training of those typical officers. Because the training of the SAP is more rigid, more complicated compared to typical police officers. Next, Aviation Security Group. This group provides security to all airports throughout the country. I think you already hear about airport police. Airport police are still part of the Philippine National Police Organization. However, in terms of function, they are the ones who provide security to all airports throughout the country. Next, HPG or Highway Patrol Group. Highway Patrol Group is still under the Philippine National Police. Alright? Under siya sa support units of operation. This group enforces the traffic laws and regulations, promotes safety along the highways. Highway Patrol Group is different from Land Transportation Office. Although they have similarity in terms of functions because the HPG implements Republic Act 4136 or the Land Transportation Code of the Philippines. In the same way, Land Transportation Office also implements Republic Act 4136. They only differ in terms of other functions, like LTO will process on the renewal, the application for licenses, while Highway Patrol Group does not have any authority to process or to renew licenses. Okay? Ang Highway Patrol Group is merely on the implementation of our traffic laws. But LTO is more than implementation of our traffic laws. Okay? But again, they have similarity as to the implementation of Republic Act 4136 or known as the Land Transportation Code of the Philippines. Next, Police Community Relations Group. This group undertakes police community relations program and activities in partnership with concerned government agencies and the community. Police community relation is establishing relationship with the community, making the community members closer to the Philippine National Police Organization. Because once the community is close to the Philippine National Police Organization, there will be an establishment of trust between the PNP and community members. And if there is an establishment of trust between two agencies, the PNP and the community, that trust is something that will help the PNP achieve its goals and objectives. Next is Civil Security Group or the CSG. This group regulates business operations and activities of all organized private detectives, watchmen, security guards, security agencies, and company guard forces. It also supervises the licensing and registration of firearms and explosives. The CSG is another group under the Philippine National Police. When you will apply for LTAP or license to operate and own firearms, like if you want to purchase a firearm, the group that will process the application is no other than the Civil Security Group. If you apply for security guard, the processing of the license of the security guard is still under the CSG. Same as those companies who wants to open for security business. Okay? So security agencies process their licenses, process their requirements under the Civil Security Group. But then again, the Civil Security Group is still under the Philippine National Police. Crime Laboratory. Crime Laboratory, this group provides crime laboratory examination, evaluation, and identification of physical evidence gathered at the crime scene with primary emphasis on medical, biological, and physical nature. So if in case you are a criminal investigator and you obtain a specimen inside the crime scene and you want that specimen to be examined in the laboratory, so what you do is you request for laboratory examination. Where will you address the laboratory examination? You address it to the crime lab. Because it is the crime lab who will make um, physical or biological examination of that specimen. Next is the PNP Anti-Kidnapping Group. This group serves as the primary unit of the PNP in addressing kidnapping menace in the country and in handling hostage situations. So the Philippine National Police Anti-Kidnapping Group will have to handle all crimes related to kidnapping and hostage situations. If the crime is related to cyber security, the group who is in charge of that is no other than the Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group, or the PNP-ACG. Like money laundering which is being done online, hacking, and all other crimes related to computers, those are under the responsibilities of the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group. So those are the agencies under the operations unit. Now let us go now to the directorial staff. So the chief of directorial staff is supported by units, by other units. One is the Directorate for Personnel and Record Management, or DPRM, which optimizes the utilization of personal resources, both uniform and non-uniform personnel. We also have Directorate for Intelligence, manages the gathering, collating of intelligence objectives of the PNP. It serves as the linkage to foreigners with official transactions with the chief PNP. So any persons who are considered as foreigners, let's say foreigners, these are individuals who are not Filipinos and will have transactions in the Philippine National Police, it is the DI or the Directorate for Intelligence who is charged. Next is Directorate for Operations, which exercises the command and control of all activities on PNP operations, such as deployment and employment of personnel. Next is Directorate for Logistics, which administers and manages material resources needed for the PNP operations. The procurement of PNP equipment like firearms, CCTV cameras, vehicles, whatever equipment or resources that is needed in the PNP operations, the one who is in charge is no other than the Directorate for Logistics. Next is Directorate for Plans. Plans and programs, strategic PNP operations. He also represents the PNP in the interagency and international affairs on peace and order. The plans will have to be related to the maintenance of peace and order. So if in case there is an international forum or an international conference related to peace and order, it is the Directorate for Plans who will represent the Philippine National Police. In terms of financial resources, right, accountancy or accounting of fiscal resources or financial resources inside the PNP, basta kwarta na ganyang hisgutan, the department who is in charge is no other than the Directorate for Controllership, or the DCA. Next, we also have the Directorate for Police Community Relation. The Directorate for Police Community Relation formulates and implements community-related activities. It supervises the PNP Salam Police Center to undertake close monitoring and liaising activities with the Muslim communities in addressing terrorism and lawless violence. So the purpose of the DPCR is no other than making the community close. There is also a specific department under the operations unit who is in charge for police community relations. They may have similarity in terms of functions. So the similarity is that their purpose of existence is to establish trust, closeness, relationship with the community. Next, Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management controls and supervises all investigation activities. The Directorate for Human Resource and Doctrine Development, on the other hand, formulates policies on matters pertaining to human resources. Next is Directorate for Research and Development, engages in research and development and does testing and evaluation of self-reliant projects. The Directorate for Information and Communication Technology Management integrates and standardizes all the PNP information systems to further improve the frontline services. Once a police officer is employed in the Philippine National Police, he can choose in which group he should belong. For the functions vary depending on the particular group which a police officer belongs. Okay? So, those are the topics under episode 2 as a continuation to the topic that we had in episode 1. So again, in episode 1, we talk about history of the Philippine Police Organization, as well as the terminologies used in the study of police organization and administration. So in this episode, we talk about the concepts in the Philippine National Police, the theories that are involved in policing, same as the units in the police organization. The units under the administration, the supporting units under operations, and the supporting units for the chief directorial staff. Thank you so much.